Hi, this is Jesse Cranio again, coming to you for one more episode of Desperate Teachers, with recipes, relief and support for developing and tired teachers. In this podcast, we look at how teachers can improve and further their teaching, while making teaching more successful for teachers and students. This podcast is for English teachers and teachers at large everywhere, whatever you may be teaching or contemplating to teach. Desperate Teachers is helping teachers teach, because teachers have questions too. This material is copyright 2016 on all known supports and all supports to come. Today we look at music in teaching and learning. Music. Music makes your day. People have been singing and playing music since the dawn of mankind, and before their territories were even charted. People sing when they're happy, and we sing when we're sad. Funerals, weddings, celebrations, and gatherings are all good reasons to sing and play music. Music has always brought people together. Music has kept man good company since the dawn of mankind, and this alone should prove how well we go together. Start with a song anywhere and just watch what happens. Take a dull day on a busy grey street, and let a busker arrive and strum his guitar, beat a tambourine, whistle a tune, and the whole new light on the scene will change. And people's attitude too. What's more, leave home on some dull day dawning, and you can bet your bottom dollar you'll be humming that tune you heard on the radio this morning all day. Lately, music has been venturing into new areas of art therapy and music therapy. Music from the dawn of man. As far back as in the Bible, in the Genesis, it is reported that in the beginning was the Word, and so the power of sound is proved as creative. In the Bible again, the 7 shofars, bugles of Jericho, brought the walls of the city down. Later still, first king of Israel, King Saul, when ill, is remembered in the whenever the Spirit from God came upon Saul, David would take his harp and play. Then relief would come to Saul, he would feel better, and the evil spirit would leave him. 1984 Bible translation. The classic tale Jack and the Beanstalk reports that the ogre wanted to hear the harp played whenever he was humoured, and so did his goose to lay the golden eggs. 17th century French father of modern surgery Ambroise Paré used music in his treatments to relax his patients. When we are barely using music in treatments and health centers today, music is finding its way into more and more hospitals and even more operating theaters. French expert Alfred Tomatis, born to opera singers, developed a whole concept around using music used in teaching and healing. Mozart is his staple diet. He has his own institutes worldwide where he teaches and promotes his approach all over the world. He trains whole armies of practitioners every year. Music is up and counting. Japanese Professor Suzuki associated mother and child in the learning-teaching process of his famous method. In the 80s, a study was conducted by a US university researching into why the southern states, in the Sun Belt, were the states that clocked up the highest rates of suicide. After much research carried out in many directions, the researchers couldn't really find anything, but came up with the fact that those states were the states that had and listened to most blues and country, often sad, music, thus coming to the conclusion that music could be the cause of the despair. And the joke, if you play a country music album backwards, the sun shines again, your wife loves you, and your dog comes home. In the Philippines, a choreographer thought up the idea of rehabilitation in a prison based on dancing and singing. And that made world headline news and remains the most watched on YouTube. In 1993, French gypsy film director Tony Gatliff exercised the utmost power of music, celebrated in his Gypsy History Road movie La Chaudrome. Today, a Haitian ethnic group in Cuba sing voodoo incantations to ward off clouds. And so does a Siberian witch doctor, and it works. They have been witnessed to chase clouds away. Music just abounds. Our ever more techno world overflows with music. Automation and robotization have started new sounds and new seeds for sound. The ringing tones of our telephone, the music in our lifts, the jingles in advertising, the hoots on our vehicle, the tinkle of the ticket or cash or drinks machines to let us know the job is in progress and or over. What's more, music therapy is gaining ground and paving the way to more and more music in our life. Music is here to stay. Music has always been with man, as I said, from the dawn of mankind to date, and in every occasion, happy or sad, and will always be, and so in teaching. You will remember that I'm a music therapist, and as such, I will always recommend music to be part of any and every course. Music has that particular faculty to tune the whole brain to work together in harmony while it relaxes the learners. Jacob's story. Music will take you way beyond the furthest reaches of your imagination. I have a friend who has a young boy, Jacob, suffering Asperger's syndrome. He wouldn't go to school, was barely manageable. I worked with him, prescribing certain music for 2 weeks, and we found him a different person, much to his mother's surprise. He became relaxed and manageable, more sociable, went back to school, and even wanted to study music. Started making wonderful drawings for the kid his age, and even grew in a matter of weeks. I eventually rewarded him with an MP3 player for his newfound interest in music, which he has glued to his ears. Music and singing can do that for you and your students. Music associates the parts of the brain as well as relaxes the learner. Singing is repeating and memorizing language and phonetics. Music offers you a wonderful opportunity to ring the changes with pleasurable material. Alzheimer's disease patients remember songs they learned in their childhood. When I was 15, a Swedish friend of mine offered me an album I played and sang along to non-stop from dawn to dusk. 35 years later, the album is remastered and reissued on CD. And upon receiving it, I remember immediately playing it and sang all along with the album, every single song from the first to the last track. Yes, sirree, it was there all the time in my memory. More often than not, I get the odd person telling me that it's not true and it doesn't work. So I choose a couple of songs and phrases from various exotic languages I know and ask them to play the game. We gospel sing and drill it. And in a couple of trials, they get it more than just well beyond their own expectations. They sing their way to perfection. Soft, easy listening, instrumental, elevator-type music can be played in the background, volume set to the minimum of classes. Songs may be used to supplement vocabulary, grammar, and phonetics work, while being an enjoyable experience. I always ask my students what music they like and listen to. Active listening, such as MP3 players or CD music, not the radio, as we're talking about chosen music, not overflowing music. Right from the first audit, we do together. And include their list as part of the course. They can decide on an album they particularly like and compile 8 to 12 tracks to last for approximately 40 to 45 minutes, which they will play in a loop mode until they move on to another selection. The singers have to be native English speakers, while the songs preferably slow. But there's no accounting for tastes. Always start easy. I like to say you have to flirt with your brain. And so to begin by flattering it into understanding with an easy, slow start. In my evening classes, I have students waltzing in after work for the first 35 minutes of a 3-hour class. So I have devised to optimize that time by asking students to bring in the lyrics for a song I choose, depending on their level, their needs in grammar, vocabulary and phonetics, and the topic of the lesson in progress. They come in with the set of lyrics they have printed. I then proceed to play the song while they read it or read it again. After which, I have them read the lyrics aloud in turns, and then they comment on the story, collateral ideas, and choice of the song. We round up the exercise with questions. This makes up for a pleasurable, leisurely, while pedagogical activity and good lesson time anyone can catch up with at will. They even sing sometimes. And they now ask for a song when I don't come up with one. For more on teaching, check my book, The Comprehensive Teacher, also an audiobook by Maxine Lennon. Remember, always keep calm and speak English. Nobody will get hurt. All my audiobooks, ebooks and books are for sale on Amazon, Fnac, Kobo, iTunes, and may be listened to or read on most smartphones, tablets and computers. I regularly offer training and coaching sessions and workshops to professionals and individuals. My services include training and coaching for teachers and trainers, in-company training, languages and communication, writers and authors, the media. I also translate from French into Italian and from French into English and back. I train and coach on teaching and training in teaching in English, French, Italian and Spanish. And for further questions and more information, contact me at jesse.cranu@yahoo.fr. That is Jesse, Jesse, .cranu, CRAIGNOU @yahoo.fr. I will do my very best to answer new questions and take suggestions. See you in our next podcast.